Catch 'em in the pasture, run 'em in the pen, work 'em on the Sundays, do it all again. Race 'em in the sand, buck 'em in the mud, drip a cowboy's sweat, bleed a cowboy's blood.
Howdy, fellas.
All right, what is going on? Pepper Stewart here, back in your ear holes. Oh yeah.
You again?
You are correct. You're correct right there. Coming back to you. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've been in this spot right here. Now, this is where it all began back in the olden days. Many moons ago, right here, working on a little old show called Texas Ranch and Rodeo Weekly. Man, that was the good old days. Or not, but I don't know. It boosted everything to what has come. So, if you've been paying attention to what's going on, took some time off, had some time off. We're really gonna just relax and kick back and take a break from TV for a while, or just a little while anyway, and do a couple of these just to keep the flow going, keep things interesting.
So good for you.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So anyway, got a good show for you guys. Got a good show lined up for you. Got some good tunes from the Wellfeds, J.D. Wellfed, the guy who wrote our intro song. He's got a couple of a great CD out, some good tunes. I'm gonna throw them down for you in your ear holes. News and stuff. Got to get to it. We got a lot lined up. The PBR World Finals just happened. A lot of man, it was down to the wire, but a lot of good things transpired. So we're going to get into that briefly. We got your cattle reports, cattle news. What's going on in cattle news? This episode we're going to feature Paris Livestock Auction out of Paris, Texas. Their cattle report. We've got cop chasing animals. We got police versus animals, stuff like that. Your horse race highlights. We're going to touch on a few horse tracks, and lotto winners. The big jackpots happened not too long ago. Some people won, and so we're gonna dive into that just a little bit. And a bear fight. You ever been in a fight with a bear? Or is it the bear you think of? What bear are you thinking of? So we're going to get into that. Can monkeys swim across from one country to... Can a monkey swim from country to country? I don't know. We're going to find out about that. There's a TV series fixing to kick off after the first of the year that everybody's been anticipating when it's going to happen, what it's going to do. We're going to talk about that. And RFD TV The American, March 2019, 2-day event coming up. Stay tuned to that. Keep an eye on the Book of Faces page, because with that, you can win tickets. I've given away tickets to the American since the American was born. Been there from the beginning, working with RFD on that. Had a great time partnering up with RFD on what we've done over the years, and we're going to continue that. So keep an eye on the show, on the Facebook page, The Pepper Stewart. See what's going on with that. We'll notify you more as things progress and let you know about that. But we just got to kick it off. We got to kick it off. PBR. I gotta get into it. I gotta get into PBR. Did you watch it, or did you not? Come on now, tell me you watched it. Stuff happened. Kaique Pacheco, world title. Since this guy came on the PBR scene, everybody's been like, man, Kaique's going to win the world. And he did it. He did. He was riding lights out, injured. Great kid. Good deal for him. The event finals winner, the winner of the event, Marco Eguche. He put on a great show, going 5 for 5. in the long rounds. And then another guy, man, this guy is so electric to watch. Such a great kid. Been at it for a while. It was nice to see him come back after such an injury, you know, getting staples in your face, screws and plates in your face, and then come back and set Vegas on fire, man. Chase Outlaw was tearing it up. That dude was getting it. So always good to see that. Jose Lemmy, he pretty good. You know, it was a tight race. The race was tight for the finals. It was down to the wire. Great deal. Came out good. There's a lot of hoopla about Matt Triplett and his head nod. About head nod. You know, when you're in the chute and you're ready to ride your bull, nod your head. The gate man opens the gate, and there you go. If somebody's talking to you up on the back of the chutes, don't nod your head. And that's what happened. And so it set Ty on fire too. Ty's like, what? Come on, man. Really? You're gonna argue with the judge for a reride after that? So that's what happened. And they gave it to him. They gave him one. But the biggest news of all, two big stories come away from PBR finals. Here we go. We knew going into it that Guilherme Marchi was going to retire. Great dude, been at it for a while, world champion. Record that he set, I don't think they'll ever be broke. No one's going to break his ride record. I don't think it's ever going to happen. A great guy, done a lot of shows with him. In studio, you know, comes in a lot of times and sits in with us and talks. And if you've never watched the Brazilian show that we did back in 2014, 15, 14, something like that, we had a good show with there was Guilherme there, Robson Spider-Man was there. Who else? Dang it, the other. Come on, I can't think of his name now. Dang it! But anyway, it's a good show. We had to. It was back when the controversy with the ropes was going on, the American style, Brazilian style. And so we had them all come in and discuss the ropes and talked about the different styles and how they work and how they affect bulls and everything. And funny story, the next PBR event, after that episode aired, Marchi was disqualified in the chute. Did it have anything to do with the episode? Who knows? But anyway, coincidences happen. Another thing that happened, J.B. Mooney. J.B. Mooney, 31, 32 years old, getting on up in age. A lot of people are saying that he needs to retire. There's, you know, hang it up. Don't hurt yourself anymore. You're not healthy. You know, give it up. But JB's not that guy. He's not going to give it up. He's a goal-minded guy. He wanted to win world titles. He did it. He's got goals in mind, and he wants to hit them goals. He wants to do it, and he can. If anybody can do it, he can do it, and that's what he set out to do. The big press release came out. The interview came out. The JB said next year he wants to be at the NFR in Vegas and the PBR in Vegas next year. He's going to be a 32-year-old PRCA rookie, but if anybody can do it, JB can do it. That's what everybody's betting on. Everybody's putting their money on that. There's probably a spot in Vegas where you can go bet on JB. JB's been a great bull rider for a long time now. Yes, he is up in age. Health is going to factor in that. You know, he wasn't that healthy there at the finals, and it showed. So the deal is, can his body, we know his mind can withstand it, but can his body withstand PRCA events and PBR events? And your PBR guys that I see in the PBR fan groups that are diehard PBR, they're like, PRCA, PBR, they don't know what PRCA is. They don't know anything. All they know is PBR bulls, PBR riders. And a lot of PBR bulls that are at PBR events are at PRCA events, so they'll be getting all the same kind of bulls. Not that caliber of bull every time, but there is some similarities in the bulls. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but I'm not betting. I'm not going to bet against him. I'm not betting against.
LeBron James?
No, J.B. Mooney. Don't bet against J.B. because if anybody can do it, he's the guy that's going to get it done. And speaking of PBR, bull riding, the safety man, James DeBorg. He's been good for a long time. Heck of a safety guy. And And so beside, you got your bullfighters in the arena as kind of your unsung heroes, not as much as they were before. Back, in the olden days, you were kind of not as, I don't know. You were there. You there, did your job, and you're done. There wasn't much to it other than you told jokes and did acts. And the bullfighters have changed. The looks have changed over the years, along with the times. Hey, that's what happens. But anyway, I don't know what I'm rambling about. But my point is, unsung heroes of the bull riding, bullfighters. But don't forget about your safety men on horseback, and that's where James DeBoer comes in. One of the best bullmen, safety men out there is James DeBoer, and that guy's a cowboy. He lives the life, and you look up cowboy in the dictionary, you find James DeBoer. And with that, Mr. J.D. Wellfed, the tunes we're throwing at you today, has got a special one right here for you PBR fans. So enjoy this.
I had to put on my cowboy hat for this one. I've been blessed to run with the best people all through this world. Learn a little more life from everyone, probably most from James DeBoer. I was 10 when I ran into him at Satterfield's welding shop. Thinking of becoming a cowboy, I asked him for a job. I lied about my riding skills, but I think that he knew. The first day I got drug off, the second day I did too. He'd be laughing as I got up and made me try again. Said, you're never gonna get nowhere, son, unless you ever been. If you're scared, say scared. If you ain't, say you ain't. Don't you ever let me hear you say you can't. He tried all my common senses, even invented some. Hell, if it wasn't for James DeBoer, I might have wound up dumb. He taught me how to ride with one hand, how to rope with the other, even how to get milk from a crazy cow's udder. Showed me how to use the sun to figure out the direction. When my horse would run off, man, he'd make me go catch him. Every person that I met, every place that I've seen, has everything to do with the way my life has been. I just couldn't fathom how it all turned out if I never got the chance to hear old Jimmy shout. If you're scared, say scared. If you ain't, say you ain't. But don't you ever let me hear you say you can't. I swear sometimes you think that man was mean, like the day he sent me with a styrofoam cup to fetch some gasoline.
Look out. Yeah, that isn't going to work too well. Not going to work too well. Man, you can, I'm stumbling, fumbling, rambling. You can tell that it's like I've been off for months or something like that. Is what it seems like.
Well, you're the expert.
No, stop saying that. All right, cow stuff, cow time. We just said we're going to feature Paris Livestock Auction, and with that, they had a little over 1,600 head of livestock over there out of 104 sellers. It looks like let's go with 4 to 5 weights. Your 4 to 5 weight steer heifers, they averaged at $1 to about $1.60 a pound. Is what you're looking at. Your packing cows, 20 cents to 43 cents. Your heavy packing bulls, 50 to 75. Stocker cows, $600 to $1,100 hairs. No pairs at all. No pairs, no baby calves, no horses, and no goats. Strictly cows. If you want to see the rest of the cow reports, markets from North Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, that area, at pepperstewart.com, click on Livestock Reports, and they are all listed there in detail for you.
Get her done.
So you can check them out. Beef news. JBS been in the news a lot. Some good, some bad. We've done a lot of stories on those guys. The Brazilian meat packer JBS has signed a trade pact with Alibaba's wind chain that will send approximately $1.5 billion in beef, pork, and poultry to China over the next 3 years. Alibaba, often described as the Amazon of China, It's a multinational conglomerate specializing in e-commerce, retail, internet, AI, and technology. The agreement between JBS and Alibaba represents the largest ever signed in the meat sector between Brazil and China and scheduled to begin within the next 30 days. Renato Costa, the CEO of JBS, the beef division, he said that they've developed products based on packaging, cuts, and portion specifically designed for the Chinese market. Their brands are increasingly being recognized for the high quality and safety of the foods they produce, with product traceability and sustainable production process issues the increasing importance to consumers, as they will be available variety of channels for either corporate consumers, retail, or food service, or end consumers. So traceability is something we've been trying to get going on in the U.S. of A. because our China ban was released a while back, but no deal has been able to come of it.
You're fired.
No, not fired. So everybody wants traceability, and over in the U.S., you got beef. We've got so many different beef groups going together against each other and together and this, that, and bickering and back and forth. When we need to all come together and get some type of traceability idea to agree on, to where we can all do something. Because in the U.S., you've got a lot more farms. Is what the story that we're told all the time is. Well, there's more farms in the U.S., so it's harder to trace them. It's harder to this. No, just figure out a way to get some traceability together, and you can start at the local level. You can start at your own level. You can traceability your own cows. That's what I do. That's exactly what I do, because I use software management on my cows. I use AgX Herd Management. There's a company in Texas, and you can use their app all over the U.S., probably overseas, and it's called AgX Herd. And what it does is a computer program that's on your computer, it's on your phone, your tablet, wherever you got internet, or not internet, because it'll work. You can take pictures and information, and then once you get on internet service and upload stuff. So anyway, what that does is gives you a database for your cows. And then you say, well, I've heard about these databases for cows, and there's this one, this one, this one, this one. Yes, but AgX Herd is free. It's free. And who don't like free? So what you do is you get the tags. They have barcodes on them. You scan it with your phone. Take a picture. It scans it with the phone. It's also got numbers on it. They're RFID tags, so you can also scan them with the RFID scanner. On your computer or your tablet, whatever, you pull it up, and all the information is there on your cow. You put it in. We started using these last year, and go in there, scan the cow, run the cow to the chute, scan it, and there I can show you a picture, and you can show a picture of the cow in the app, and you can go in there and look and see what you did to this cow, when you worked this cow, what medicines you gave her. You can put all that stuff in there. That's what we do. I sound like a spokesman for AgX or something. I'm not. But if you do want to hook me up, AgX, go ahead. But anyway, that's what we do with all our cows. And then you can go in there and see. And just like the other day, I had a cow calf, and I went in there, checked her tag, rode by her on the horse, looked at her tag number, pulled up my AgX app, looked in there, said, okay, that cow's calf is this one. She still got a calf out there. We got a calf out there, or bigger calf. So like, okay, that's her, and figure out where they are. And I go in there and type it in there. I type in, okay, calved on Tuesday, blah blah blah, heifer calf. Catch that heifer calf and put a tag in her ear. Then I'll type on there, okay, her calf tag or whatever, and then on that calf I can tag. Anyway, it's you get what I'm saying. So anyway, AgX software is free, so it's the best as far as I'm concerned, because I like free stuff. All right, what's next on the agenda? We got stuff, stories, and things for you. I feel like I've been rambling for hours, and that's possibly because I have, because the whole show I did for you guys an hour ago. Somebody's been out of the studio a while and forgot to hit record. So, that happens sometimes. That does happen sometimes. All right. Police chases. We got police. Policia. Police capture or don't. You decide. Texas Police Department shared a video of a chase and capture on an unusual suspect, a wandering goat. The Carrollton Police Department posted a video to YouTube showing an officer pursuing the goat before sunrise. Then, like all police departments do nowadays with their Facebook, is they posted on Facebook, "Are you missing a goat? We've got one in custody at the 2600 block of Old Denton Road. After a short pursuit, we got your goat." So if you're missing a goat, they got it. Now let's move off to Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. Witnesses captured video on Atlanta Road when a surprising pedestrian, a loose emu, went running across the middle of the street. A video posted to Facebook, once again, by the GA followers, Everything Georgia group, showing the emu running loose down Camp Creek Parkway near Interstate 285. A photo snapped by a witness who also spotted the big bird posted it to Reddit, which I guess is another site.
Kobe!
Police confirmed they received a report of a loose emu around 12:30 p.m. on Sunday, but officers were unable to locate the large Australian bird. Maybe it went down under. Investigators said they don't know where the emu came from or where it went. Emus are legal to keep in Georgia, but it's not legal to allow them to run loose. Well, where in the world are you allowed to let anything run loose?
Falcon punch!
No falcon punch. What about tossing your salad? Do you like your salad tossed? What if you could see a huge salad toss? And that's what happened in Ohio. Authorities in Ohio said traffic delayed resulted when a semi-truck overturned on a stretch of highway and spilled its load of spinach across multiple lanes. The Ohio State Police said the truck was traveling northbound on Interstate 71 when the vehicle went off the right side of the road in Washington Township. The truck overturned in the center right lane of the highway, and spinach from the truck's trailer spilled out across the roadway. The 50-year-old driver of the truck was taken to the hospital for minor treatment. So he was okay. He was doing good. But your salad, man, I bet there's going to be protests about that, because people like to protest all kinds of stuff, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be a salad tossing protest. I don't know, because, spinach rights. We're living in a time now where it's no longer sticks and stones break your bones and words will never hurt you. Words are dangerous today. There's so many people getting hurt by words, and this spinach has been hurt as well. So I feel your pain, spinach.
Finish him!
No, not doing that. All right, let's throw down one more tune from J.D. Wellfed. Then when I come back, we're going to jump into everything else we got. We've got some horse racing highlights. We've got some lottery winners, bear fights, monkey swims, TV stuff. There's just stuff. So let me throw down this tune, and I'll be back. Oh, yeah. Good stuff right here. Apparently, it's right here. All right. Maybe it's not right here. All right. Let's get the kinks worked out here. Golly. Man, this is... All right. The last show a couple of hours ago was great. It was great. I didn't have near as many kinks to work out. But anyway, the Well-Fed's right here. Great tune. Bring us Bob. Enjoy it. When I come back, I'm going to ramble through the rest of these stories.
This is a song about a retired bucking bull. Hello, honey, good to see ya. I can smell you from the tree there. I'm the bull they call Brangus Bob. Yep. Saw you winking and I heard you tinkling. That all got me to thinking. Loving you is my job. And I love you with all my horns. And I want you to know I care. I really do. You say it's time. I say I'm ready. Can I call you Betty? They picked me up at the sale barn with just a few waves of an arm. Then someone hot-shotted my ass. I was sprayed and I was wormed, vaccinated for all kinds of germs, brought out here and put on grass. And I love you with all my horns, and I want you to know I care. I really do. You say it's time, I say I'm ready. Nice to meet you, Betty. The bridge has been censored, but those who understand this don't need any kind of visual aid. I even turned my head so they could have their moment, but I swear I overheard Bob say, that sure beats the bucking sheets or turning into cowboy boots. I believe you will see me again. But for now, I must go. I've got a date with a Simmental. She's a heifer standing somewhere upwind.
Yeah, now you're getting it.
Yeah. Oh, man. I tell you what, you guys that have been following the show for years and been listening, because those of you that listen to the podcast only, or been listening to the podcast only for years, not much is going to change. Those of you that watch the TV show, it's going to be a little bit different because we're not playing videos for people to watch. We're going to be just mainly talking and throwing down audio. But it just being out of the studio, taking a break. Had a great break. You know, traveled overseas and stuff, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But I don't know. It's just trying to get the kinks worked out. It's like it's the first day I've ever sat down in front of a microphone. That's what I feel like as I'm bumbling and stumbling through this broadcast for you guys. So, sorry. I mean, I don't know. It's all the same. It all works out.
And boom goes the dynamite.
No, there's no boom goes the dynamite. All right, let's go to horse racing. Let's talk about horses. Horse races. All right. We're going to feature 3 tracks. There's a lot of horse racing that goes on all over the place. So what we're going to do is we're going to feature 3 different tracks and tell you just a little bit about what transpired. All right. Highway Star bounced back from the Breeders' Cup defeat to win at Aqueduct. Hot Springs won the Commonwealth Turf at Churchill Downs, and several 2-year-olds served notice for next year's campaign. Escape Clause continued her Cinderella story at Del Mar. On the international front, Santa Ana Lane and Trap for Fools were Group 1 winners in Australia and in Leicester final. And finally got a win at the top level in Japan. Now, Grace, I don't know how you say that word. If you know what I'm talking about, you do. If you don't, well, that makes 2 of us. All right, let's go to 3 tracks. Let's highlight 3 tracks, and what we're going to highlight first up is none other than Churchill Downs. Let's do a little recap here. Hot Springs saved ground into the stretch in Saturday's $100,000 Grand 3 Commonwealth Turf for 3-year-olds. Swung sharply to the outside of her rivals and drove from last place to win by 1.5 lengths. Zero Gravity was second, another 1.5 lengths in front of Marzo. Hot Springs, an Uncle Mole colt, ran the 1 1/16 mile on yielding turf in 1:46 seconds for jockey Richard Santana Jr. Hot Springs finished 4th in the Grade 3 at Saratoga this summer, then won the Jeffers Cup at Churchill Downs in September. He's now 4 for 4 over turf, but today was the most impressive one. The most impressive race right there. That's what his trainer, Steve Eisman, said. The way he finished was very, very impressive. Hopefully, we'll be able to come back to Churchill next year. There's some very nice races down the road for this colt. So, very, very impressive. So, remember that pony. Let's go to Woodbine. Let's go to the Woodbine track. Super Charlotte found another gear in the final furlong of Sunday's $120,000 Canadian. And then Glorious Song Stakes for 2-year-olds. And out finished CC Tequila by a neck. Above All Names was third. Super Charlotte, a Kentucky-bred daughter of Warrior's Reward, ran 7 furlongs in the all-weather track in 1:23 seconds. Mark Case trains for Live Oak Plantation, and she was 2 for 2 with both wins. On Saturday, She's the Berries overcame a slow start to win the 100,000 Canadian La Provence Stakes for Ontario. Sired 3-year-old fillies by 2 1/4 lengths. Under Enrico de Silva, the badge of silver filly circled rivals 4 wide to get the lead and finish first with a 1/16 mile on the all-weather track in 1:44 seconds. It was her first stakes win and third overall. It's so confusing on the race horses because all the words of the horses are crazily named. Just like they do everywhere else, pretty much, I'm guessing. But it's just funnier when they're racing and you're trying to call a race and you got all the weird names and you got to get them right. Because you do not want to mess those up.
Bye, Felicia.
Let's go across the pond to England. Let's go to England. So those who hadn't... Oh, what in the world? Okay, England, where'd you go? All right, those who hadn't quite had enough as the calendar turns from flat to jump over things got one more chance, and Saturday's listed Wentworth Stakes at Doncaster, a 6-furlong dash over soft turf. Flat race is, in England overseas, flat racing is what American horse racing is. It's just the horse on the horse race on the track is their flat race. The jumping over things, of course, that's self-explanatory. Jumping over things and running fast. So anyway, let's get to it. Don Juan Triumphant, the 2-1 favorite, was along late to win by a head over Hay Jonesy with Aaron third. The 10-year-old Gordon Lord Byron finished 9th, weakening in the final furlong. Don Juan Triumphant, trained by Andrew Balding and ridden by James Doyle, was third in Group 1, the British champion sprint in its previous start. The 5-year-old by Dream Ahead notched his first win from 8 starts in 2018. If that hasn't got you confused, then I'll read it again. Now that's great. England, Ireland, over the pond. That's where I was at. I was over in Ireland, and if you're ever out that way in Ireland, make it a point to go to the Irish National Stud and check out the horses. That's where all the top horses are at. You know, the big time stud fee horses are over there. We were looking at a couple of them, and they're like 120,000 or 120,000 euro breeding fees and stuff like that. And it's one thing to see these horses on TV. It's one thing to see, you know, these races and hear about them, this, that, and the other. But to be up close and personal and see these horses and, you know, visit with them, check out the retired horses. They got retirement pens over there for retired horses over there, and you know, you can come up and you can visit with them and get on a face-to-face level with these horses. It's so neat. It's so neat to do. So make that a point if you ever go to Ireland to check that out. Good stuff over there, because I don't know. I was being touristy in another country. Isn't that what you do? You go check things out. That's what I did, and that's what you should do.
Prepare to be astonished.
All right. Well, let's do it. Over here in the US of A, do you play the lottery? Do you watch the lottery? there has been some massive jackpots, billion-dollar jackpots, billion dollars. Okay, that's a lot of cash. Well, here's what happened to a couple of lucky folks, or unlucky folks. Let's see. A North Carolina man said he'd been playing his special numbers for 5 years before they won him $1 million in the Powerball. Benjamin of Winston-Salem told the lottery officials his patience paid off when the numbers he had entered in various drawings for 5 years won him $1 million in the Powerball jackpot. He says, I've been playing the same numbers for 5 years. They're very special to me. He doesn't play the lottery regularly often, but when he does, he plays his special numbers. I only play when the jackpot gets above a certain amount. I knew it was a long shot, but I still use the same numbers. He said he was surprised to see the numbers match, but he didn't get the Powerball. So if you get all 5 numbers, that's $1 million prize. If you get the Powerball, then you win the jackpot. So that one number went from him winning $1 million to him winning billions of dollars. But $1 million better than nothing. I'd look at my number several times, what Sinclair was telling everybody. What? I can't believe I won the money. But he did. And after taxes, which is, you got to remember, you got to factor in taxes. So you want to know what taxes for $1 million is if you won the lottery? He walked away with $705,000. So that's a good chunk of change. Good chunk of change. But when those jackpots get huge and they get big like that, a lot of people, including myself, get in pools. I get in the lottery pools because that's a lot of money. So anytime the pool gets really, really high.
Smoke weed every day.
No, not that high. When the money gets up there and it gets to be a giant payday, a lot of folks get in pools and they gather together. And that's just what happened right here. An office lottery pool in Michigan said a mistake by their designated buyer ended up winning them only $1 million in the Mega Millions jackpot. Only $1 million. But that was a huge, huge pot.
Smoke weed every day.
No, not that kind of pot. Come on, guys. The Busbusters Lottery Club, employees of Sound Off Commercial Vehicle Solutions in Hudsonville, decided to play the Mega Millions and the Powerball when both jackpots were huge. So they wanted to play both. They wanted to get in on both of them. Which, that's like the other guy. He wants them too. So when the Mega Millions and the Powerball jackpots got so high, our boss told us to take up a collection for tickets and he'd match whatever we came up with. The minimum buy-in for the pool was $1. And all but 3 people joined into the pot. When it was all said and done, they had $212. They planned on buying half and half. Half Mega Millions, half Powerball tickets. Well, the woman who was supposed to buy the tickets mistakenly spent all the money on the Mega Millions drawing.
You're fired.
No, she didn't get fired. So people were uneasy. They were real uneasy on what she'd done. They was like, man, I can't believe you spent all our money on one. But she did. Hoo-yah! Oh, they didn't karate chop her. The club's very last ticket, which would have not been purchased had the funds gone to the Powerball. So they ended up matching all 5 of the balls, getting the $1 million. So they didn't get the Powerball, but they got the $1 million. So each of the 21 people in the pool walked away with $47,000. $47,000 before taxes. So I guess you can figure that out. Whoa. With that, check this out. Oh, yeah. North Carolina. A man survived a bear attack. So what kind of bear? What kind of bear did he, are we wondering about here? Is it the bear you're thinking of? Maybe. Maybe not. North Carolina man who survived a bear attack with only minor scrapes and bruises said he repeatedly punched the animal in the face. So, this guy went boxing. He went and boxed with a bear. Yeah, you want to try that?
I'd rather not.
Yeah, me too. Sonny, this guy's name is Sonny Pumphrey. His name is Pumphrey. 78 years old. He's an old dude. That's why you don't ever mess. Ever mess. Tuesday afternoon when the mother bear and two cubs approached his house. Pumphrey said the cubs ran off, but the mother didn't. She ain't.
Somebody call my mama.
She made a charge at him. Dead run. That sucker was eyeball to eyeball, is what Sonny said. The only thing I could do is punch her in the nose. He said the bear bit him, and he retaliated by repeatedly punching the predator in the face. So Pumphrey's wife, Betty Pumphrey? What? Sonny and Betty Pumphrey. All right, Pumphrey. Want to see what was going on, so she came outside, and she brought out the secret weapon. The couple's Yorkie dog came out with her to investigate what was going on. A little bit of commotion, and Mama Bear said, you know what? I'm out. Ran away. Pumphrey was lucky he escaped with only minor scrapes and bruises.
Finish him.
Monkey see, monkey do. Monkeys act just like you. A group of people fishing in South America. We're talking South America. They're fishing in South America. They captured a video of a monkey escaping the country or not. I don't know. Tell me. This monkey was swimming from Brazil to Bolivia. I don't know how far that is. I'm not sure. Is it like the river in South Texas that you can walk across? Is it like that, or is it long? I don't know. I'm not from Brazil or Bolivia. The video filmed by the group fishing from the boat in the Gapor River shows the monkey urgently making his way from one country to the other by swimming across the body of water. We were fishing in the river and was like, what? There's a monkey. Let's take a video with our phone. And as they filmed the monkey, they started making jokes that maybe the monkey was escaping from Brazil after the new presidential election. So that just brought to everyone else's attention that it doesn't matter what country you're in. When there's an election, you always got people wanting to leave. And it doesn't matter. And even here in the U.S., I mean, it's funny that a monkey's escaping the country. So now I'm curious how big the river is. I'm trying to figure out how far this monkey's trying to swim to get from Brazil to Bolivia. But that happens here in the U.S. as well, where you have elections, and it happened in the the recent election a couple years ago with the president that we have now. It happened a couple years ago with the other president. It happened a couple years ago with the other president. Every time there's a presidential election, you've got handfuls of celebrities that are, falling from grace, out of the spotlight, trying to get some free press, some free headlines. So they come out and they're just like, oh, if so-and-so wins, I'm leaving the country. I'm going to Canada. I'm going this. I'm going that. Well, first off, none of them ever leave. After the election's over, they never leave. And then you see them on TV a couple weeks later or months, whatever later, like, hey, you're still here? I thought you left. They don't leave. It's just marketing. It's just free marketing ploy. And then the other thing that I get a kick out of is, why go to Canada? Why do you want to go to Canada? If you're going to leave the U.S. and go to Canada, why? It's cold. It's real cold. Everybody says they're going to leave. I'm leaving and going to Canada. I've never once heard any of these celebritats come out and say, you know what? I'm leaving the U.S. I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to Brazil. I'm going to Guatemala. You don't ever hear that. You never hear anybody say that. They want to go to Canada. I don't know why. But, maybe I'll leave the country one day. Maybe I'll just join the bandwagon and I'll leave the country too. Maybe I'll come out and put out a big press release where I'm leaving the country. I thought about doing that, actually, whenever we went to Ireland this last time, but I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. But if I was going anywhere, that's where I would go. I would go east. Been over that way a few times, and England's pretty neat. I kind of like England's neat. It has its ups, its goods and bads. The food though, the food is real bland. I'm not a fan of the food. Ireland, man, we were in Ireland last a couple of weeks, a few months ago, and the food is great. Ireland is good food. I don't want to say that Ireland food. I saw somebody do this on a video when I was doing my research before we went over there, and I was like, what an idiot. So I'm not going to come out and say Ireland food is like American food. No, that's not how it goes. American food is like Ireland food. Do your history. Do some research. A lot of the folks from Ireland were sent to America. Also, I learned a lot while I was there. I guess I hate to get on a tangent about all this, but I learned about the prisons in Ireland that I didn't know. I didn't know a lot of the history. I didn't know that when prisons got full in Ireland, they would take the prisoners, stick them on a boat, and ship them over to the U.S. So you'd ride a boat for 6 months, and they'd take those prisoners, dump them off in the U.S. And you can imagine how that went over. So a lot of Irish folks ended up in the U.S. that way. So there's been a lot of boat rides to the U.S. for different things. I had no idea. I had no clue, but I learned a lot of stuff while I was over there, and it kind of makes sense about that. It's so similar. A lot of our Irish people have came to America. A lot of descendants come from there. A lot of England descendants come from there. Just like in my my ancestry, a couple of generations, just a handful of generations ago, they were in England, over in Yorkshire. I've got a bunch of they're in England and in Ireland and Scotland from the ancestry side. So, most of my bloodline was only been here in the U.S. since the late 1700s or early 1800s. Late 1700s when they came over on the boats, on some boats too. So it's you never know. You never know what is going on or what is happening in the world until you do some research. Stop believing everything you see on the internet and research it for yourself, because there's so much lopsided information on the internet. Don't get me started. But I want to get started on this so I can get out of here and shut this thing down. Game of Thrones will premiere its 8th and final season in April. They made the announcement now, even though it's going to be a while before it comes out, just to prolong everybody's anticipation on it. So anyhow, the co-executive producer Brian Cogman left us with this. He says, it's all about all of these desperate characters coming together to face a common enemy, dealing with their own past, and defining the person they want to be in the face of certain death. Does that make sense to anyone? Anyway, rambled on with you guys long enough. Sorry about that. A little wish-washy after recording it for the second time, because I don't know what I said or what I didn't say the first time. So it's a wash. So don't judge the future podcast on this one. And go back and listen to some old stuff too. And check it out. Did I also mention the Brazilian show with Guilherme? It was Robson Palermo. That's who the other Brazilian was that we had on during the Brazilian show. I don't know if I talked about that this one time or the time that we recorded that didn't record. So I don't know. We can't all be like this.
Kobe!
That guy, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe we're more like
Mrs. McIntosh?
No, we're not like Macintosh. No. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed what you heard. Don't judge this one on the next one, because it's, I've been out for a while, so It's all coming back to me. Slowly but surely, it's all coming back to me. I'm going to talk about more stuff on the next episode. Don't know when it will be. Just make sure you're subscribed. If you listen this far, I'm so sorry you listened this long. Your ears must be aching that you've done that. So make sure you're subscribed. So the next one will be a lot better now that the kinks have been worked out. Second, third time the charm, working kinks out, getting it back to the basics. Going to be talking about a lot of stuff going forward. With that, I just want to give a shout out to those that do make it possible, that's hanging on or has hung on with us so far and planning on continuing for a little bit, and that is House of Lords Rodeo Clothing, the shirts that I wear. If you look at Rodeo Clothing, the House of Lords Rodeo Clothing on the internet, the picture of the shirts don't do the shirts justice as in person. So look at the pictures of me wearing the shirts, and you're like, wow, that's a great shirt. It looks like a shirt that you can buy at the Western store for $70, but it's way less than that. I think they're like $20, $30. They're very affordable. Master Hatter of Texas, great hats. Get those. Cactus Ropes, Cowboy Sports News, the Wrangler Magazine, and the Southwest Horse Trader. Be sure and check all of them out. And man, I burnt your ears for a while, so I got to get out of here.